Good morning, everyone. It's Lionel here. And today is a different kind of show. I need to talk to you about something I've been thinking about for a while now. It's about this channel, about the NIFB, about Steven Anderson, and about what happens when you realize you've been documenting a corpse. When I started this channel, I genuinely thought maybe 4 people would watch, maybe a couple of ex-NIF folks who'd stumble across it by accident. I made that first video expecting absolutely nothing. And then 47 views on the first day. I remember staring at that number thinking, wait, people actually care what I have to say? 1 month and 2 weeks later, 289,000 views. I still can't visualize that number. I can't wrap my head around it. That's not an audience. That's a small city. That's more people than live in entire towns. And they all showed up to laugh at Steven Anderson with me. I consider myself blessed, genuinely blessed. And I will never stop being grateful for that. But here's the thing. The NIFB is dead, and I mean objectively dead, not dying, not struggling, dead. Let me walk you through the evidence, because this isn't opinion. This is just math. Steven Anderson creates an international controversy, makes it to Reddit, makes it to Twitter, makes it to the news, makes it to the news. France, my friend from France, who has nothing to do with American religious drama, texts me out of nowhere asking, "Is this your guy?" That's worldwide viral reach. And Steven gets 211 views. 211 people watched his response video to an international controversy. That's not underperforming. That's not the algorithm screwing him. That's statistical proof of complete and total irrelevance. People cared enough to be outraged. They didn't care enough to click on him. That's when I realized this isn't a movement anymore. This is a zombie. It's technically moving, but it's functionally dead. Look at the signs. His cruise ship guy, Kevin, died in a freak accident. The guy Steven prayed blessings over, the golden calf of the ministry gone. His adult sons are publicly cross-dressing. Just to spite him, Solomon changes his profile picture to himself in women's clothing with an LGBT demon plushie specifically to make it everyone's problem. His daughter literally chose to sleep in a roadside ditch rather than go home with him in 2024 in America. A ditch. He got exiled to his own basement by his wife. The man who preaches about biblical headship lives next to the water heater and has zero access to family finances. The church moved to the worst part of Phoenix, so bad they're chasing witches off the property, which we all know just means crackheads, because that's the neighborhood he chose. The water got shut off. They're manually flushing toilets with gallon jugs. His live stream is so glitchy, even his computer decided to give up on him. And his Don't Somalia My Minnesota video, 124 views. At what point do we just acknowledge reality? The man is visibly cursed. What am I doing? Taking a blank page and going, look at that blank page. It's so empty, it's stupid. There's only so much of that I can do before it stops being fun and starts being just sad. Most of you have already moved on, and you should have. That's actually beautiful. That's success. That's the whole point. I remember when the weekly news segment would get hundreds of views within hours. Now, it's a miracle if I hit 50 views after a week. And that's not a failure. That's a sign that people got what they needed and left healthier than they arrived. The work is done. So here's where we're at. I'm not ending the channel. The weekly Red Hot Mess Conference will continue, because someone needs to keep a clear record of what's happening. There's so much chaos that if I don't document it weekly, the details will be lost forever. And I haven't seen anyone else doing comprehensive weekly documentation. I'll still make content when something makes me laugh and I want to share it. But it won't be 6 videos a day. It won't be on a schedule. It'll be when I feel like it, when inspiration strikes, when something is actually worth commenting on. I honestly thought nobody would care what I have to say. I'm just some guy with a teddy bear and a YouTube account. I'm not a pastor, not a theologian, not even particularly special. But you all showed up. You laughed with me. You said I was hilarious. You said what I made was gold. And I will never, ever stop being grateful for that. I started this channel right on time to catch the grand finale. Pure chance, divine timing, whatever you want to call it. And now, the finale is over, the curtain has fallen, Steven is still on stage, screaming into the void, but the audience has left the theater. So this is me saying, thank you sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. The NIFB is dead, Steven Anderson is a punchline, and everyone who left was right. You were always right. I'll still be here, just differently, less frantically, more intentionally. Check back for the weekly news on Saturdays at 7:30 a.m. Check back when you miss the community, and if you see that I've posted something random on a Tuesday afternoon, that means Steven did something so absurd I couldn't help myself. This has been me. I have been honored beyond words. See you on Saturdays, and thank you truly.